Footage has just been released from Thanksgiving of a self-driving Tesla, that white car, look to the right side of these lanes from our point of view, that piled up 8 vehicles on a highway up in the Bay Area in California. That's the front view of this tunnel. There's a second view that shows how many cars were continuing to stack up behind it. Let's watch that. Scary stuff, and you never really know what's gonna happen. And maybe you're glancing to your blind spot when something like this is going on. There's plenty of space. But the pileup occurred, multiple people were injured in it. Let's look at a picture of that aftermath of the devastating crash. One car almost flipped upside down, sideways, and cars stacked on top of each other. It's a horrible accident. But the crazy part about this whole thing is that this happened hours after Elon Musk tweeted this on November 23rd. Tesla full self-driving beta is now available to anyone in North America who requests it from the car screen, assuming you have bought this option. Congrats to Tesla Autopilot and the AI team on achieving a major milestone. I don't know if this update was not on this guy's particular car, but this guy's particular car apparently needs that update. I talked about folks that are injured. One particular one that stood out was one 2-year-old kid. The child injured in the crash was 2-year-olds, and they suffered from an abrasion to their left side of his head, as well as a bruise. It's according to the incident detail reported, obtained by the Intercept. In one photograph of the crash, a stroller is parked in front of the car in which the child was injured, which makes it look all that much worse. Let's look at that picture really fast. There that is, of the previous picture we saw, but the full view. Now, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or the NHTSA, has said that it's launching an investigation into that incident. Tesla vehicles using its autopilot driver assistance system, full self-driving mode, has an expanded set of features atop autopilot. They were involved in 273 known crashes from July of 2021 into June of last year. That's according to the data from that group. And in recent months, a surge of reports have emerged in which Tesla drivers complained of sudden phantom braking, as we saw there, causing the vehicle to slam on its brakes at high speeds. More than 100 such complaints were filed with the NHTSA in a 3-month period. That's according to the Washington Post. And they've been investigating these Teslas and these autopilot features since 2016. Not sure what they found or if they're gonna have any kind of action to make sure these things are more safe. But there's one thing, Trey, there's tons of Teslas out here in Southern California. I'm sure in many other parts of the country. There's tons out here, as many as there are Priuses. And I'm generally gonna not really be behind one for an extended period of time, or really next to it if I can avoid it. This is one of those things you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're, it's wild. It's wild to me that you can just like sort of whatever, click a button and now it's okay for hundreds or thousands of people around the country to just download the auto driver software and then just be on the road with everybody else. You know what I mean? Because like, I mean, I like the idea of that, because I'm with you. What you said about Ubers and stuff either. I'd prefer not to talk or feel like I should be talking or whatever. And you don't have to talk to a robot, so that's cool. At least not for now anyway. But it's gonna be a long time before I trust them. But also the Elon part is funny, because it's like, man, he just can't win for losing lately. I mean, he's still the richest man on earth or whatever. But I just feel like lately he's been taking L's like they're smarter people's ideas. Like things just aren't.
And by the way, look, I'm glad you brought up Elon, because I was thinking this when I saw it. This could totally sound like it's an Elon bashing segment again. Oh, look at his Teslas. They don't know what they're doing. I guarantee you this dude was not part of the planning, programming, or development of this AI feature. Maybe he was, but I don't think he was. So if we're gonna go to saying look how dumb he is, maybe there's some other kind of things that are the organization of the company that he's maybe involved with that may help this type of thing. But this is an issue that I would have if the car was a Toyota or whatever else. If it's on a self-driving feature, I just don't know what that computer is doing, what's been programmed doing, what glitches and issues it may have. Everyone has a computer. How much does it mess up?
Right. Well, I remember reading this thing once that pointed out the idea when it comes to programming those, like, how do you take into account the driver versus the people outside of the car and the value of their lives? Do you know what I mean? Like, Should a self-driving car swerve onto a sidewalk to save their driver? Probably not. There's pedestrians on the sidewalk, but also as the driver, how does that make you feel knowing that your car is going to do that math and determine that your life is less valuable? Like you're putting that decision in the hands of this AI or whatever. And it's all pretty trippy and freaky when you start to think about it,
Listen, Trey. I'm not going to let it slide. That it's obvious that you've seen I, Robot, the movie with Will Smith. And you're absolutely breaking down the storyline of what happened and why he hates robots. Let's keep it real.
But it's so fun. I'm not kidding. I used to, when I was taking acting classes and stuff, my go-to monologue that I kept verbatim in my head and would practice and stuff was Will Smith's explanation for why he hates robots in the movie I, Robot. So
is that what
you really nailed me on that one.
When he said, "It's the damn robots, John."
No, it's when the robot decides to save him instead of the little girl, and it's heartbreaking. It's real. That movie was prophetic, guys. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, bro. I love that movie, and I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one.
I love it.
I almost want to see if you can remember at least one line from the monologue you would go with.
Headed back to the station, normal day, normal life. Driver of an 18-wheeler falls asleep at the wheel. And then it goes on. Their mother was a girl. Her name was Sarah. She wanted to be a dentist. What kind of 12-year-old wants to be a dentist, right? It's crazy. Driver hits me. Truck hits my car into their car and into the water. I'm pinned. She's pinned. Water's rushing in. I'm a cop, so I already know everybody's dead. It's just a few minutes till we all figure that out. NS5 was patrolling the area, decided to assist. It calculated that I had a 24% chance of survival. And Sarah, anyway, you get it. So yeah. And obviously, I'm not performing it there, just so everybody knows. I'm just reciting it. But yeah, I had to illustrate my bona fides.
Yes,
that was a really wild interaction that just happened there on the show, in my opinion. That's an old movie.
I enjoy it.
Doesn't come up much.
Producers out there, that's not him acting. That just shows that he still knows the lines.
Just showing the memorization. That's all.
He retains.